So if you think fancy equipment is necessary to start a successful YouTube channel, I want you to think again. And today we've got a 1.7 million subscriber and YouTube expert, none other than Justin Brown. And he's going to debunk this myth and reveal what truly matters to YouTube. And also be sure to stay the very end because there Justin is going to share his personal blueprint for creating viral content. So welcome, Justin. It is great to have you here. And thanks so much for helping me quadruple my subscribers and monetize my YouTube channel. But people are asking me, is YouTube still the best platform for growing brand visibility in 2024?
Well, thank you very much for having me on. I totally understand that question. There's a lot of options people have these days to grow their business online and to have some impact, to build an audience. But I want to say massive congratulations on quadrupling your channel, the success you've had so far. Maybe by now you can start to see that it really does snowball and little changes can compound over time. And that's really what we look at with our strategy and how we help people with YouTube. So is it too late for YouTube? Is YouTube still the best platform? It is not too late. And in my opinion, I'm a little biased. I would say that yes, YouTube is the best platform because it's unlike all the other social media platforms out there. It is the one place where you can consistently get views on videos for years after you upload them. There is no other platform like that. And it really comes down to YouTube first and foremost being a search engine. And that's really what I like to get people to tap into is let's just not try to create stuff and have it go viral and you know the hidden hope or post and pray. We could have some success that way. But instead, if we're strategic and we're looking at what people are actually looking for, what people actually want, and we make that content, it's such an easier game. It's much less stressful and you're creating stuff that you know people want. So I don't think it's too late. And I think YouTube is the best platform out there by far to have your attention, but you don't need to be everywhere, right? We have an audience on YouTube. I have a very small following in comparison on all the other platforms. And that's kind of a big trap that I see people get caught up into. They're trying to be everywhere, trying to people please everywhere, but just laser focus on one and you're going to be so much further than those people that are spreading themselves too thin.
I love that. Post and pray. I've been there.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah.
So can you share some examples of small YouTubers who have recently grown their brands using YouTube, but maybe more importantly, how they did it?
Yeah. So I think what it all comes down to is if we look at this YouTube algorithm, and no matter what the channel is, there's a real viewer on the other end. And so a lot of people get kind of scared about this algorithm. I have to do things to please the algorithm. But if we look at what the algorithm is really trying to do and what YouTube's goal really is, it's to serve the right video to the right person at the right time. So whether that's someone just rocking up on YouTube looking for stuff to entertain them, or whether they're actually trying to solve a pain and problem and they're using YouTube as a search engine to find something, its goal is to put the right video in front of you. That's what the algorithm is doing. So if we're taking that approach into no matter what type of channel we're creating and we're saying, what does the viewer really want? Because the algorithm is going to follow the viewer. So what does the viewer want? What does the viewer need? What types of things do I want to talk about to show up and share? And then how do we line that up with what people actually want on the other end of that? That's really where the strategy kind of unfolds and where this becomes so much easier to grow on YouTube without, again, trying to post and pray or go viral. So in terms of examples, like we've got countless examples of people that have used this strategy of optimizing for search and optimizing for what people are actually looking for. People like Penny, who was a personal trainer at a local gym. And she started out on Instagram, hustling, grinding it out, posting multiple times per day. And she had some success with that. But the moment she stopped posting, it all kind of stopped with it. Whereas when she transitioned to YouTube, she was able to create content, again, that she knew people wanted. She was able to grow a YouTube channel. I think she hit 50,000 in just over a year, and she's now over 150,000. But those sorts of numbers, they sound good, but what does it really mean? Like for Penny, it's totally changed the way that she's now working, how she's able to show up and help and impact people. bring in other revenue streams that she never had access to before. But also, she's not just limited to helping people in her local gym. She's now able to help people globally with this stuff. And I think that's really where the power is in YouTube, is that I have the ability in my small home in Australia to help people globally with the stuff that I geek out on. And this is the power that is available to any one of us just by sharing our thoughts and opinions and helping people with the stuff that we're interested in, or entertaining people with the stuff that we're interested in. We can have a real impact. We can build an amazing community. We can help people with this stuff, but we can also build the lifestyle, the income, the revenue side off the back of it as well.
So, Justin, it seems like it's all about the video. I mean, I know I'm guilty of pouring hours and hours into the video, but you keep mentioning clicks, watch time, and viewer satisfaction. What do those have to do with being successful on YouTube? Isn't it all about the video?
The video is a very big, I guess, important piece of the puzzle, right? But you could have the world's best video. If no one sees it, if no one clicks on it, no one's going to see it, right? If it doesn't get found, if it doesn't get surfaced on YouTube, then you kind of wasted a lot of time having this amazing video. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. And that's where we got stuck at first, right? We were creating the videos that we thought people wanted. We weren't doing any research first. It was stuff that I'm like, hey, if people found this video editing tip, this is going to change the game for them. But they wouldn't be able to find, or it's very unlikely they'd be able to find the video editing tip because they're not searching for the tips. They don't know what it is, so they can't find it. Or YouTube doesn't quite understand who the audience is for it, so it's not pushing it out to the right people. So if we keep coming back to what does the viewer want, and we do some like keyword or topic research around these things, then we can start to see what are the things people would type into YouTube and expect to find your video on the other side of it. So yes, the video is very important, but it's kind of further along. There's really three key things that we need to focus on, which we can dive into through this as well, for success on YouTube. Video is just one piece of that. The first one is we need to be strategic with what we're creating, and I've teased this out a couple of times by doing that research. We want to get our content showing up on the platform, because if it's not showing up, no one's going to find it, right? Pretty simple. The next step, though, is that once our content is showing up on there, we need to get it clicked on. Again, world's best video. If it doesn't show up, doesn't get clicked on, no one's going to see it. So our thumbnail strategy is so important. What's going to grab people's attention? What's going to let them understand what the video might be about so they can work out if it's for them? We don't want everyone clicking on our video. We only want the people that are interested in that topic. So your thumbnail image plays a big part in this. The third piece then is the video itself. So see, it's still important, but it's number 3 here on the list. And we, at that point, we want to, again, look at, for this specific topic of the video that we've researched and we've found that people want, what do we need to do in this video? How do we hook people in? How do we let them know that this video is for them right up the start? How do we let them know that there's reasons for them to hang around? Exactly as you did in this interview here. Like, you gave them a hook at the start. You gave them a reason to hang around. I'm going to share some strategies and bust some of the big myths around YouTube, right? So we've given people the reason, a teaser. I love that. Like, you totally nailed it. That's what we want to do. And it doesn't need to feel unhuman-like or unauthentic, right? We can do this in a way where it's adding value. Like, it's you're being respectful for people. Like, at the start of this interview, here's what it is, and here's some value that I'm going to bring to you in this. So that is a great example of that. And we want to do that at scale. And I think the last piece of this is be mindful of the viewer. You're going to hear me say that a lot. But think of your experience when you're on YouTube. And it's really interesting when we start to be mindful about the things that we're thinking, the things that we're feeling, our actions, and how we're actually behaving on the platform if we're looking for something or wanting to be entertained. And then we want to take that apart and we want to say, okay, how do we then create a good experience for our viewers? And what I mean is, if there was a video, if you were searching for something on YouTube and you had 5 options there and you're tossing up between the 5 options, why are you going to click on one of those over the others? Is it the length of the video? Is it the thumbnail image that grabbed your attention? At the start of the video, you've picked one. What are you thinking or feeling in that moment? Are you questioning if you picked the right video? Because a lot of people, there's almost like this bit of anxiety. Like, I picked this video, but this one's 5 minutes. The last one was 10 minutes. This one had a pretty good thumbnail image, but I was really, kind of interested to see what the other video was like as well. We need to address all of that stuff simply in the hook of the video. be very clear with the promise. But I want you to be mindful of how we are using YouTube ourselves. There's a lot that's going on, a lot of things that we're thinking or feeling going through the platform. And once you can tap into that and understand how that works and your viewer behavior, it makes it so much easier for you to then optimize to create a great experience for people that are doing the same thing.
Well, that's pretty convincing on YouTube having the potential to really grow our brand. But how's the best way to unlock all the potential? I mean, it seems huge, but are there some kind of specific things that really unlock it?
I think a lot of people want a quick win. A lot of people want to do, post a few videos and hope to go viral. And we all hear those success stories of people that blow up to 1 million subscribers in a year, or someone that's getting monetized and making a bunch of money day one, week one. That's not most people yet. It's something that everyone then aspires to be like. I want to be that one standout. I want to be able to press record on a video, create an amazing video without any editing. I want to be perfect on camera, yet I've never done it before. Like it doesn't make sense. Like we have to learn to drive a car. We have to learn to walk. Why should creating videos on YouTube be any different? So for most people, we have to put the runs on the board. I wish there was some secret sauce that I could say, hey, just go do this and you're going to be successful without any extra work. You still need to do the work. You still need to learn on how to present better, and how to edit and how to tell a compelling story, how to hold your viewers' attention through. But that shouldn't be something that should be overwhelming to you. That's really what the game is. How do I better myself over time? But the three things that I just shared before for you to focus on: showing up on the platform, so being strategic with the content, focusing on how the video is going to go, then focus your way through and go get it. Those are really the. But even if you're understanding that, we still have to take action, still have to practice and get better over time. I mean, part of me hates that how early videos are still up on the channel, because I was so bad in them. And I still, look, I watch our videos today and I know that there's improvement from where we started to where we are, but we are always going to be our own worst critic. So the moment that we can do enough where we can step out of our own way and say, okay, I know that there is value in here for people. And I know that I've enjoyed making this video and I want to put it out there for the world. I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I fumbled a lot. I made mistakes, but done is better than perfect. Whatever lessons we can learn from that, let's get that out. Let's put it out there. Let's move on to the next one where we can be a little bit better. So it's like the atomic habits, 1% improvement over time. I really believe that that is the way, as long as we're pointing the right direction. As long as we've got the strategy behind that, we then need to put the runs on the board.
Well, I must say, I'm always looking for a shortcut. And I really am tempted to always see a new camera or microphone or something that's going to give me an edge. But have you found that's really essential for YouTube success?
I wish it was. And as someone that geeks out on tech as much as you do, look, I used to justify buying camera gear and all of this stuff. I need this. And when I have this, I will be able to have better results and my videos are going to look better. So more people will subscribe. And you know what? It takes one video that was filmed on the front facing camera, low quality mode, so many mistakes to blow up. And you're like, okay, all of the other stuff really doesn't matter. What people are there for is the content. The content is the most important piece. I know that it's almost like a cliche saying now because so many people say it, but some of our biggest videos were that exactly, filmed on the front facing camera, low quality, poor lighting, and not one comment about that. The content was good, so people loved the video. Some of our videos, I've done lighting tutorials where the lighting wasn't great. We've done color grading or color correcting tutorials where our editors hadn't color graded or color corrected my footage in there. So, but again, not one comment about that stuff. So I'm giving you permission to not have things perfect. They don't need to be perfect. A lot of people get caught up with trying to be perfect that they don't release stuff, or it takes them so much longer to release stuff. But if they just got it out there, then they'd be able to help and impact people much faster. And you'd likely find that other stuff didn't make any difference. Someone's not going to switch off your video. I can't watch this. This was filmed on an iPhone. They're not going to know. If the content is good and it looks good, they can hear you, they can understand, they can receive the information you're giving them. That's all that's important. And it did take me a while to really, like, I knew that, but to actually do it for myself, it was, I guess, a bit of a tough pill to swallow. That now I just simplify everything. I don't have the latest and greatest camera gear. I've got whatever is going to make it easiest for me to press record, create some content, hopefully add some value to the internet, and move on with my day. I don't have to spend all day making videos. I want a process to make it easier.
I must say your phrase "done is better than perfect" goes through my mind as I'm at about 95% of every video. And it's kinda like, how many more hours do I wanna put into this?
Yeah.
But it's good that it gives you permission to proceed and move on. But, measuring our success, our progress in YouTube can be really confusing. I mean, subscribers is thrown out. We've got all those statistics in the studio. It can be overwhelming. What do you think success on YouTube really is? Where are we making progress?
I think it's a really interesting question. And I think the answer is that we will all define success a little bit different depending on what our goals are. For some people, they want the vanity metrics and they want to be a full time YouTuber. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's not how we would measure it, but there's nothing wrong with that goal. I think you do need some sort of a goal so that you know that you're making progress towards it. Look, another goal that people might have would be to just to show up to help to impact people, to build an audience, to build a community. Other people will be looking more at the revenue side, and they're maybe transitioning from their full-time job, or maybe they've already got their own business set up and they're looking for more leads, more traffic, more customers. So they might be measuring it that way. So I think success really comes down to the individual. But yeah, it is interesting that for people that start out a YouTube channel, a lot of people will look at that subscriber number and say, I know that we did when we started, like, wouldn't it be amazing if we hit 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers? Like, what would that be like? So for us to hit the number that we're at now, it still just blows my mind, but it's not why we're doing it. Like, we want to be able to show up to help, to impact people with the stuff that we geek out on. I love talking about tech, like cameras and helping people build a business online and video editing. And so I love that I get to do that. And we have built the lifestyle and everything around this, and that's what I'm pumped to help people do too. So in terms of the success, the vanity metrics, if we're looking at that and pulling that apart and looking in your analytics and how do we know if this is actually working? Because you're right, there's a lot of numbers and things can look good one day and bad the next. YouTube's telling you, hey, this video is performing 1 out of 10, and your next one might be a 10 out of 10. Is that a step backwards? The answer with the analytics, the way that I would encourage you to look at it, is it's all just interesting information until there's been enough time passed by where we can pull something accurate, something relevant from that is going to help us with the direction. Most people get stuck in their analytics too early. And they're seeing, oh, this video in 1 week performed worse than the video before it, or in 2 weeks' time. Most of our biggest videos with the strategy that we teach of optimizing for search can take 3 to 4 months in some cases to really start to find their place, for YouTube to understand who that video is for, what type of viewer, what other content they've seen before, and built a profile around it, starts to push it out. It can take that 3 to 4 months to really start to grow. And we've got videos that are 9 years old, still getting thousands of views a day, still having people click our affiliate links, still helping people, still adding value to the internet 9 years on. So if those videos could have totally tanked at the start, and I'm looking at the analytics and I'm worried and I'm stressed and I'm making decisions from that point where there wasn't enough time yet. There wasn't enough information or data there for us to make accurate decisions. So I'd say for anyone that is feeling overwhelmed with the analytics and you're wondering if it's working, if you're following the strategy of how do I add value to the internet? How do I give people what they want? How am I being strategic with what I'm creating? And doing some research, effective thumbnail, all of those things, trying, testing, failing, learning, and moving forward on each video, then you need to give it time. I'd say for anyone that is uploading content consistently for at least 6 to 12 months, you should start to see some growth. Now, some growth for you is obviously going to come down to the goals that you're looking for. It could be that we're seeing views. Now, views is a good one to look at in terms of impact. People are finding us more so than subscribers. So you might say, hey, I'm getting views, but no one's subscribing. Maybe people don't really like me. But if we look at, again, YouTube, and this is a long answer to your question, YouTube's moving further and further away from the subscriber number being of any real benefit. So a channel that has close to 1.7 million subscribers doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to get 1 million views on the next video we release. We all start from zero for every single video. So this is where it helps from a credibility piece, but it doesn't necessarily help on a video per video basis. So subscriber number is not a great metric as far as I'm concerned for that. It is a metric for credibility, but it's not something that's needed. It's not a requirement. So I would be measuring based on your goals. How do we see that we're moving towards that? And if that's email subscribers, if that's sales, if that's views or comments, like what is it? How do we want to measure this ourselves? But I would encourage most people to ignore that subscriber numbers. You want subscribers, they will come, right? If you're putting stuff out there and you want that, it will happen. But it shouldn't be the metric, is this working or not, based on subscriber numbers.
I think it's interesting. I've hardly heard you mention the word monetization. Yet, so many YouTube builder creators, and I'm one of them, thought that was just the end. That's where you've made it when you monetized. Are there benefits beyond monetization that we really shouldn't even concentrate on that as a goal?
Look, I think that is, if I had to pick a goal starting out and I was doing this as a business tool, then yeah, it's not a bad milestone. Obviously, at that point, you can start to make some money from your content directly from YouTube. But I guess another way to look at this is there's also ways that we can generate money from our YouTube channel, from our content that we're putting out there, much before you reach the 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours to really sort of fall into the main category of YouTube monetization. There's other ways that we can do that earlier. And we've got so many examples of people that are doing that with things like affiliate revenue, even brand and sponsor deals. You might think, what brand or company would work with me if I've got less than 1,000 subscribers? They do. If you've got a really niche audience and a connected audience, then yeah, brands want to work with these micro influencers, and it's happening more and more now. So there's lots of other ways where you can monetize before hitting the YouTube piece where they pay you. It's also for most people when they hit this, I'm not sure about your channel as well, but I know when we hit this channel and a lot of the channels that we work with, when we hit that milestone and we're now able to make money from YouTube, at least when you are around that sort of size channel, it's not a massive amount that's dropping into your bank account every month. It's nice, and it's free money because it's from work that you've already done. But it's not something where we can hey, good, 1,000 subscribers, let's retire. If that's one of our goals, to make money from this thing, right? So there's lots of other ways that we can again, brand deals, email, affiliates is one of the biggest for us. And we're just adding value to the internet.
A lot of your focus, though, as you discuss this, seems to be being so respectful to the viewer, building a connection. To me, that almost sounds like community building. How do we build community on YouTube? What do we need to consistently do on our channel?
I think if we again come back to what our goals are and how we want to show up on YouTube, what type of content we want to make, then we can look at what experience do we want to have for people on there. And there's videos where I'm sure you've had this experience, and your viewers and listeners here have had that experience where you watch a video, you're consuming a piece of content, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. It's different if we're looking for entertainment versus if we're trying to find the answer to something or follow along with a DIY tutorial. And that's the beauty of YouTube, is we can put whatever we want up there. But if we're constantly answering people's questions when they have them, if we're adding value, if we're helping them, and we've just given them everything that they need in a video, there was no real sales pitch, there was no, hey, here's step 1 and 2, but step number 3, you're going to need to come buy my course or whatever. Like, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth. Viewers go to YouTube for free stuff, right? It's an amazing opportunity for that. I'm not saying you can't grow, sell courses and all of that stuff. We do, but we do it in a way of adding value to the viewer where they don't feel like they've been sold to, or that we're doing a bait and switch or any of that stuff. So it's genuine. I genuinely want to help you with this. Is this a full course? No. It's not going to work on YouTube as a full course, but I'm going to give you all the steps here. I'm going to give you everything you need to be able to take action yourself. And then for those of you that are a fit, then yes, there is a next step if we wanted to offer that. So it does come down to adding value and having a good experience for the viewer. Because if someone is having a good experience, and they will want to be around you more, they will want to be around people that are like-minded. And that's where the community element of it comes in as well. So yes, YouTube is amazing for community. And I didn't see that when we started. We now have amazing community, both in the comments area on YouTube itself, and also our own community built off the back of that as well.
Well, and I love that community, and I think that's one of the most wonderful things. I always find it's called almost like a pop-up group. So you were talking about a DIY, I was trying to fix my washer, and here's a tip that I learned. It's kind of a pop-up group of people you'll never see, but you're triangulating on a story. So I think that's one of the greatest things about it. Well, I'll bet there's a few people out there that have been inspired. I know you always inspire me. If we've convinced them, let's talk about that blueprint for creating viral YouTube content that we promised at the beginning.
So again, it's going to come down to thinking of, what does the viewer want? What do I want to make? And then how do we best deliver this in a way where we can be successful with it? So before we jump in front of the camera and say, I got this great idea, go shoot it, and then try to optimize it afterwards, the blueprint really is starting with research, both from yourself with what you want to make, but also what do people want. So doing some keyword or topic research, it's so simple. So just go to YouTube. You've seen that auto suggestion box, that search box where you start to type 3 to 5 words in. What comes up in there when you start to type a few different words about your topic or your niche? They're not just random suggestions. They're things that people actually want, people have actually searched for, and is YouTube suggesting, hey, is this what you want? Those are a great place, or that is a great place to go. It's where we go to come up with the topics for our YouTube videos. I'm not saying, hey, this is a great video, let's go make it. I'm saying, let's validate this. If I was making this video, what would I search for on YouTube where this would be a fit? And then it's all well and good to see what I would search for, but where the power is what about the people that don't know this topic as well as I do? Someone that's further back, maybe they don't know all the technical jargon, the lingo. What are they searching for if this was the thing that they needed? So that's where it becomes really powerful, that research step first. Then I would look at, cool, the next step, as I shared, was the thumbnail image. If someone is searching for this and they're looking for this piece of content, what do they need to see in that thumbnail image for them to at least be intrigued or convinced that this video is for them? So it could be that we're adding some similar text or some graphics to help explain what it is that that could be happening in this video. We don't need to give it all away. If we put the answer on the thumbnail, they don't need to click on it, right? Don't do this. Okay, good. I don't need to watch the video. You've already told me I don't need to do that thing. So how do we create some intrigue? Maybe ask a question. Like for us, we would have something like best video editing software ? Or, which is the best? I'm going to need to click this video to find out. Best brewery in this location. The best beer for health. I don't know. We could bounce this around all day. There's so many different options here. But like, what's going to create intrigue for someone? What's going to be interesting that's related to your topic, to your niche, to your business, if it's to attract customers? Like, what are you known for? And then how do we show up for the people that don't know you yet? That's really where the power is. So that research, the thumbnail image, the two of them really go hand in hand. And the third piece then is keeping our viewers engaged through the content. So in that research phrase, when we're looking at what it is we want to make, how do we best deliver this? Is this an interview setting? Is this a short form piece of content? What does the viewer expect? Are they expecting a 40-minute video, or are they expecting a 5-minute quick answer, step-by-step thing? So we want to take that best guess to see what we think the viewer might want, but we can also have a look and see what else is already out there. We can check out the competition. I hate calling it competition, but there's other people out there that have likely already created the videos that we want to make. Why wouldn't we go and learn from them? What can we see? What worked for them? What didn't work for them? Let's read the comments on those videos. And if there's a bunch of people saying he didn't answer this or he missed this one, maybe you start to add some of those things into yours so that you are creating now the best video for viewers looking for that thing. It's almost like we get hindsight here, which is really, really powerful. We can look at what's already out there and how do we share our thoughts and opinions at the next level with that. So that's really the strategy, the research, the focusing on showing up, the getting the click, and the third piece. So your thumbnail strategy, and the third piece then is giving our viewers exactly what they want and keeping them entertained throughout. If someone watched the first piece of your video and left right away, then what's YouTube going to think? That this video wasn't a fit for that viewer. So what we're saying, when we're saying it, what we're doing, when we're doing it throughout the video, and the way we're structuring our videos is really important. But I know this sounds like a lot. You don't need to have it all figured out. Do the best you can with what I've told you right here, and go and start testing, start experimenting, get some runs on the board. You will, even with a blueprint, with a foundation, you're going to learn the most by actually doing it yourself. But it's not just run out there, do whatever we want and see what sticks. It's like, let's have a North Star. Let's have a blueprint or a foundation there, and let's work towards that. Now we can come back and test and measure. The biggest thing that I haven't mentioned yet about YouTube, its superpower that no other platform has, is the ability for you to not need to get it all right up front. We have the ability to go back and we can change the title. We can change the thumbnail. We can, to some degree, remove sections from a video that is live on YouTube if it was needed. We can make changes to this stuff afterwards. And in a lot of cases, we've been able to re-optimize a video that was previously dead on YouTube, getting no video, no views, no clicks, just from doing some of these simple things, changing the title, changing the thumbnail, and even some of the tweaks in the description to help the viewer understand what our content is about, which helps YouTube understand what our content is about. So that's probably the biggest key to the strategy: is don't be too overwhelmed. Don't be too panicked or too intent to have everything figured out first. Done is better than perfect. And we can come back and we can tweak and adjust and learn from everything that we're doing over time.
So, Justin, I was introduced to your content on one of your quarterly tradings that you do, which are totally free. Is there a link that people can click on to learn more about your next quarterly free classes?
Yes, so we do run a quarterly training, 5 steps to build your YouTube traffic powerhouse. We dive deeper into a lot of the things that we've covered in this interview here today. So if you are interested, we will put a link down below for you to access that. And we do have a training coming up very, very soon. But we're also looking at ways that we can make this outside of that quarterly thing, so that people can maybe access and take action to those things if that was their goal right now.
Well, I know they're marvelous classes. That's how I got introduced to you and how my channel has taken off ever since I took that class. So I hope everybody in the audience will give that a shot, because I really enjoyed it. So before we wrap up and go to the rapid fire questions, and these are always my favorite, please let me know in the comments, right down here, what your thoughts are on building your brand and authority using YouTube. You may have some encouraging tips, or you may have some struggles, and I'd love to hear them. So, are you ready for some quick rapid fire questions?
No pressure, no pressure. Quick answers is something that I'm not good at, but I'm going to do the best I can.
All right. So, how does YouTube increase the visibility of my business?
I think it being a search engine. A lot of our traffic comes from people searching for stuff. So if I have a business and I want to get more eyeballs on it, for any one of us, there is people that are Googling things that our business solves. And I say Google because Google owns YouTube, and the two of them work hand in hand. We get so much traffic from people Googling stuff as well as looking on YouTube. So by being strategic with what we're creating and optimizing for search results and not just trying to go viral, then we can have an amazing power where we're showing up and helping people when they're looking for stuff before they're necessarily even ready to go and buy our product course. We're able to build reciprocity. We're able to help them on autopilot and build up that know, like, and trust with them, so that it makes it a no-brainer for them to come and work with us in the business.
So if I've got to put all this effort, and maybe it's not huge, but it's some effort, and I'm a busy person, why do I think there's my audience is even on YouTube? Who's on?
There's a great way we can test this. If there's any things that people would be Googling about the services that you offer, not necessarily about your business, but the outcome of working with your business. So if you're If you're a service-based business and you're helping people, let's say a physiotherapist, right? What are the things that people are Googling where a physiotherapist would help? So how me with an ankle injury right now, I'm looking at what stretches I can do. And if I found that there was a physiotherapist online that was sharing these examples and showing me stuff for free on YouTube, then it's going to make me so much more likely to want to work with that person. Maybe they've got an online course. Maybe I'll use their affiliate links because they've helped me so much. Like we're able to show up and help people. So for any one of us, if your business out there has stuff that people would Google, what type of beer should I buy? What beer will go well with this meal? What are the most popular types of beers in this region? I mean, I'm a gluten-free person. Every time I go to a new place, I'm searching for gluten-free beers in that local area. And the people that show up are the ones that get my purchase. So you can be the person that is on the other side of people's search. But let's find out what they are searching for so that we can have that ability.
I spend an excessive amount of time editing, but how much time is really required to be successful on YouTube as far as editing and creating videos?
Well, do you want my real answer here? Okay. Look,
Yes, I do.
as someone who geeks out on making videos, and I'm one of those weird people that loves video editing, what I love more is not having to edit. And we outsource editing. We teach people how they can outsource. They can find amazing video editors for as little as $4 to $8 US an hour in places like the Philippines. I haven't edited one of our YouTube videos in probably close to 6 years, and I love editing. So if you are feeling that you need to do it all yourself, you don't need to. There are people out there that have been doing it for years and absolutely love it. That's their thing that they geek out on. So you do the piece that only you can do, which is probably the presenting or making the video, and you can hand a creativity piece over to someone else. I know this is a quick answer, rapid fire, but I would just say if you are doing this yourself and you're stuck with editing, overwhelmed, whatever, I would just focus on trying to keep it simple. You don't need to go and use all the top name software. Test a few and see which one resonates with you and use that. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. You're not going to get better results using something like Adobe Premiere or DaVinci Resolve because the learning curve is so much more. For most people, they're overkill. So what's something easy that resonates and works for you? Pick that and stick with it.
Are you saying YouTube doesn't care how much time I put into my video?
Look, a piece of me wish that it did. More of the viewers on the other end. I know there's videos that I have spent so much time on, and I think time and time again, those are the ones that perform the worst. So this is where I like the done is better than perfect. Our viewers aren't going to know if I spent 10 hours color grading the video if it didn't look bad to start with. So yeah, again, we're our own worst critic, and we want everything to be perfect. We want the background to look nice, but the content is the most important piece. Some top videos out there are just filmed in front of a plain white wall, terrible lighting. As long as the audio is good and the content is good, that should be the focus.
All right. And the creme de la creme question. How long does it take to see results on YouTube?
I think if we're consistently showing up and being strategic, so not just creating random stuff and throwing it up there, and when we're creating something like one video per week, so you don't need to be doing this daily, but one strategic optimized video per week for 6 to 12 months is what I would recommend if you are being strategic with this. And you're adopting that mindset of, I'm not going to get bogged down in the analytics and check every video day one and stress about this stuff. I'm going to do it the best I can. I'm going to release this baby into the world and let it find its place. Let it start to take its first steps and walk and grow up. And then we can check back in after a few months and give it a helping hand or tweak some stuff if we need to. But that's really the strategy. So if you might be thinking for some niches, okay, a video a week, that is not achievable. It takes me a long time to get everything together. Then sure, do every other week. Some of the biggest channels out there upload once a month, but that video is amazing. So I would push you to try to explore one a week or one every 2 weeks, because that's going to get you in the momentum building up, but also the experience. I'm someone who used to hate having my photo taken and couldn't imagine being on camera let alone speaking to people, running live streams and all of this stuff. It's a skill that can be learnt, and that I'm still refining, but you don't need to be perfect with this. So yeah, coming from someone who used to hate having my photo taken, practice is the thing. So yeah.
So it's a long game. I mean, you're not going to see the instant results like you do in Instagram and TikTok and the others.
And I think that's the piece that we see so much is the expectation. Well, if I posted this video on TikTok, I could have 1 million views, but I post it on YouTube and I, might get 5. The way that it works, a lot of those algorithms work is, yeah, you might get lucky. You might get a bunch of views, but then those videos stop. So what am I going to lean into is the thing that's got the greater return for the long term. As I said, we've got so many videos now that are 8, 9 years old that are getting hundreds to thousands of views a day that just, it snowballs, it compounds. And it's not something where I need to be stressing about what's the latest trend. I don't need to be dancing or pointing or doing whatever else you have to do to get views on TikTok. You also don't need to be posting multiple times a day. I mean, there was people like Gary Vee at one point that was saying you need to post 6 times a day to grow on TikTok. Well, I mean, I like making videos, but I don't like making them 6 times a day, every day to be successful for it. 1 video a week or 1 video every other week. So then we can focus on working on the business instead of being a full-time content creator or something, which most full-time content creators, they're not making any money because they're doing it for the viral metrics. They're doing it for the viral numbers instead of adding value and helping people and putting systems and processes and things around it. So I think what you will learn if you are consistent for that 6 to 12 months is how you can streamline the process, how you can do things easier. You can work out what you like, what your audience likes, and you can double down on what's working. That's why I encourage the 6 to 12 months.
Well, I love your approach, and I've thoroughly enjoyed your courses, and I appreciate all the great help you've been to me. And thank you for sharing and taking your time today. This is fantastic. I hope we can do it again sometime. And for everybody else, listen, if Justin's expertise has encouraged you to start a YouTube channel, put something down in the comments. Ask a question. Maybe Justin will even answer it. And if so, I'd just love to hear what your thoughts are on the best ways to grow a YouTube channel. And listen, when you get done, check out these videos because these have been selected just for you. Justin, thank you very much. And cheers, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this half as much as I did. Justin is just amazing. Uh, really helps show what's important about YouTube because it seems rather mystical, at least to me. So I would encourage you. I put the link in the chat if you want to take Justin's free course. Highly recommend it. Although he does have a paid course, which I'm involved in. Uh, his free stuff is excellent, and he doesn't hold anything back. But I will warn you, it is like drinking from a fire hose. So anyway, enjoy and have a great holiday, and we'll catch you on the next video or live stream. Cheers.